Hello to all traders and welcome back to another market review brought to you by Orbex. The big news coming out of America in the last few hours is that the House of Representatives have approved a deal which will let America borrow more money and hence not being able to default on its debt. The House of Representatives were in a little bit of negotiations the last few days, and there was a wonder if there's going to be this agreement by the 1st of June, but it has actually been passed. It will go to the Senate next for them to agree, which is just a formality before Joe Biden, the president, signs it into law. So there has been a few talks in the last few weeks. Would there be a deal by today? Wouldn't there be a deal? Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen did say that if a deal isn't approved by today, then America would default on its debt and possibly lose its credit rating. So there's a lot at stake, but it has actually been passed. So we're seeing now where the path of the dollar could be, especially with tomorrow's NFP figures looking a little bit buoyant on the plus side for America as well. So where are we going and what's next for the greenback? Well, for the euro dollar, especially, we're just looking at Forex pairs today because we're seeing this V-shape decline back down to roughly the mid 105 handle. So only roughly about 100 or so pips away from this movement, which isn't really too much in the space of two sessions if you think until the end of this week when the NFP figures are released. So we're just looking now likely that, we've hit this firm resistance, this triple top that we saw roughly about the 111 handle. Since then, we've dropped roughly about 300 to 400 pips to the downside, and it just seems like this bear market is going to keep continuing, and it looks like we're possibly going to have more of an upside move for a slight correction, but then a lot of economists that I've been speaking to, a lot of traders that we've been looking at as well and been in communications with do believe that we are still looking likely it's going to have another downturn effect. If we look on the 4-hour chart, it's looking more likely that we will see more of a continuation. It's a little bit clearer to see here. It's pretty much looking likely this V-shaped decline will continue even further. So obviously we have these impulses to the downside and correction after correction. We're seeing now, as I said, a slight upturn, but with the assistance of the Ichimoku cloud, as you can see here, very fully pressured under this cloud, giving the impetus that we will see another leg lower. The only thing we've got to diverge that is this slight bullish divergence, that we've seen on the RSI, but this could just bring prices up to the last height and then before we start moving lower. So for the euro dollar currency pair, and probably for most of the dollar currency pairs, it is looking favorable for the American dollar for the time being. But for the dollar yen, we'll just quickly look on this. We're having this slight correction now because we hit the 140 handle and actually kept on pushing to the 141 handle, which is quite significant because this was a big psychological barrier for the last swing high that we had. So we reported on the dollar yen a few sessions ago. We've got it on the daily chart again. So as I said, we've seen this one area of support and then another area of support. So we are expecting this to be a slight correction before we see another move to the upside. Obviously, dollar pairs are favorable for the greenback at the moment. The NFP figures are going to possibly be a big catalyst if we see another move higher or lower in the next few trading sessions, but keep an eye out for that tomorrow for sure. But for today's fundamentals and technicals, we're just seeing now a slight correction on the dollar yen before possibly another move to at least the 140 handle. So as you can see here, just another 50 or so pips to the upside, which isn't really too much. We've got ISM news coming out later on today for the American market, plus weekly jobless claims as well. So this could actually really have a big impact on the progress of the dollar as well. So looking on the 4-hour chart, as you can see here, this slight correction really taking shape, but with the assistance of the Ichimoku cloud, we're seeing now some firm support coming in, and we could see possibly another move higher, roughly about 100 or so pips, but obviously we'll wait and see. So just keep an eye out for America's news later on today. Obviously the debt ceiling bill will probably be something of a backstory now that we've got the NFP figures coming up tomorrow. I just want to plug in that we will have a live session as usual for the NFP, so join me tomorrow for that. You'll be able to register by going into your My Orbex area, or if you're not already registered, you can register on our website as well. So make sure you join us for that and let us know what you think, where the NFP numbers are going, what is in store for the American economy, and we'll speak again next time around. Bye for now.